Mr. Speaker, I rise today to introduce the annual report of the Registry General for year ended December 31st, 2018. The Registry General recognizes that the essential role that vital statistical information plays in planning for the provision of services in areas such as tourism, health, education, and housing, to name a few, and has performed his duties to a high standard in the recording, collating, and presenting of the data to be included in the annual report. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Section 19 of the Registration, Births, and Deaths Act 1949, the Registry General shall, within 90 days after the expiration of each calendar year, compile for publication in such form and manner as the Minister may approve a summary of the births and deaths which occurred during the year, together with a general report on the increase or decrease of population in Bermuda. The Registrar is required, also under Section 35 of the Marriage Act 1944, to publish a summary of marriages conducted each year. In preparation for an annual report, Mr. Speaker, the Registrar has relied on information received from the Records Office of King Edward VII Memorial Hospital relating to births, from the local funeral directors and medical practitioners in relation to deaths, and from local marriage officers and masters of Bermuda's Register of Ships in relation to local and maritime marriages, respectively. Mr. Speaker, the report, which deals primarily with the vital statistics pertaining to the island's residential population, indicates that for the first time in 3 years, there has been a slight decrease in the number of births. In 2018, there were 530 births, a decrease of 46, or 7.9% of the 576 births recorded in 2017. Also, the live birth rate of the population has decreased by 0.7 per thousand from 9.0 in 2017 to 8.3 in 2018. There were 3 babies born in 2018 in the residence of the parents. This is the same number of babies that were born at home in 2017. Mr. Speaker, the distribution of live births by nationality, based on information provided by the parents at the time of registration of the child's birth for 2018, reflects 83.8%, or 444 of the total live births have at least one Bermudian parent. In 2018, 86, or 16.2% of the births have parents who are both non-Bermudian. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues are advised that in 2018, 532 deaths were recorded among residents, a death rate of 8.3 per thousand of the population for 2018 reflects a decrease of 51, or 10.6%, from 481 recorded in 2017. The report also indicates that 11 were in respect of non-resident persons. There was 1 stillbirth recorded in the 2018 period, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, at this juncture, I must point out that I found an error on page 1 under general information, where stillbirths were recorded as 5 in 2018. However, correct figure is 1. It's listed on page 23 in table 5.4. Mr. Speaker, there is a decrease of 2, or 0.003% in the estimated resident population at the end of 2018 at 63,919 as opposed to 63,921 in resident population estimated in 2017. At the end of 2018, there were 2,435 more females than males in the population figures. Mr. Speaker, if you compare statistics recorded in 2016 and statistics provided for 2018, it would appear that there has been a significant drop in the population. However, the population estimates were rebased in 2016 after the 2016 population and housing census. The rebase of the data is a reason why the population estimates are lower from 2016 forward. Mr. Speaker, for the year ending 31st of December 2018, there were 473 marriages performed in Bermuda, a 7.5% increase from the 440 marriages recorded in 2017. During 2018, marriages between parties who were both non-residents account for 265, or 56% of the total of the 473. This figure still is in keeping with the trend over the past 5 years, where marriages between non-residents exceeded the number of marriages between residents, and marriages between a resident party and a non-resident party. The report also shows that there were 167 marriages between parties who were both residents and 41 marriages between a resident and non-resident. Mr. Speaker, of the 473 marriages recorded in 2018, 6 were same-sex marriages, which represents a decrease of 4, or 40%, from the total of 10 same-sex marriages in 2017. All 6 of the same-sex marriages were performed at the Registry General as civil ceremonies, and none of the marriages were religious ceremonies held at a hotel and a home. During 2018, same-sex marriages between parties who were both resident accounted for 3%, or 50% of the total of 6 marriages. The report also shows that there was 1 same-sex marriage between non-residents and 2 same-sex marriages between a resident and a non-resident. Mr. Speaker, 472 marriages were performed on board 28 Bermuda registered ships in 2018. This total represents an increase of 20, or 4.2%, of the 217 estimate of 452. Of the 472 maritime marriages, 4, or 0.8%, were same-sex marriage ceremonies. The cumulative number of marriages, local and maritime, processed through the Registry General for the year ended 31st December 2018 was 945, as compared to 872 for the year ending 2017. Mr. Speaker, the Domestic Partnership Act allowed for the formalization of unions between parties. In 2018, there were 2 domestic partnership unions recorded for that period. Both domestic partnership ceremonies were performed at the Registry General office, and none of the ceremonies were formalized at an alternative approved location as allowed under the Domestic Partnership Act 2018. In closing, Mr. Speaker, the annual report seeks to provide an illustrative statistical digest of vital events such as live births, deaths, stillbirths, marriages, domestic partnerships, adoptions, and re-registration of births for the year ended December 31st, 2018. I would like to thank the Registry General and his team for their hard work in producing this document.
Thank you.